The Golden State Warriors have made some serious moves this offseason, but what happens when their pursuit of Lauri Markkanen falls short? What's next for the Dubs, and how will they ensure Stephen Curry and Draymond Green's legacy continues to shine? Today, we're diving deep into the behind-the-scenes maneuvers that could define the future of this franchise. Before we get into the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what the Warriors have in store this season. Stay tuned for all the latest updates on Warriors Nation TV. The Golden State Warriors, known for their relentless pursuit of excellence, faced a significant challenge this offseason. After missing out on Lauri Markkanen, one of the most sought-after players, fans are left wondering what's next for the Dubs. The Warriors, a team that has always been in the conversation for titles, now finds itself at a crossroads. The departure of Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks marked the end of an era, but it's not the end of the Warriors' championship aspirations. This offseason has been a roller coaster of emotions for Warriors fans. Losing out on Markkanen, a player who could have significantly bolstered their roster, was a tough pill to swallow. But let's not forget, Joe Lacob and the Warriors front office have never been shy about pulling the trigger when the right opportunity presents itself. The question now is, how will the Warriors pivot from this missed opportunity? The Warriors' interest in Markkanen was well known throughout the league. His ability to stretch the floor and provide rebounding was exactly what the team needed to complement Curry and Green. However, Utah's steep asking price proved to be a major roadblock. The Jazz weren't willing to part with their star unless they received a package reminiscent of the one they got for Rudy Gobert. This left the Warriors in a tough spot, as they were unwilling to part with key young talents like Brandon Podziemski or Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors' strategy this offseason has been clear: they want to win now, but they are also keeping an eye on the future. This balancing act is not easy, especially when you're trying to make moves that don't mortgage the future while still remaining competitive. The decision to hold on to their young core, even at the expense of acquiring a player like Markkanen, signals a shift in the team's approach. They are no longer just looking for immediate returns, they are also planning for life after Curry and Green. The failed pursuit of Paul George also added to the complexity of the Warriors' offseason. The Clippers' reluctance to trade within the division, especially for anything less than a superstar return, put the Warriors in a tough position. The front office had to decide whether to include Kuminga in the deal, but ultimately, they chose to keep him. This decision speaks volumes about how highly the Warriors value their young forward and his potential to become a cornerstone for the franchise. As Stephen Curry approaches his 37th birthday, the Warriors are acutely aware that their window with him as the centerpiece is closing. However, Curry has shown no signs of slowing down, continuing to play at an MVP level. The Warriors are committed to maximizing his remaining years, and that means every move they make is scrutinized through the lens of how it impacts their title chances during Curry's twilight years. Draymond Green, another pillar of the Warriors' success, is also nearing the end of his career. With hints that he might retire at the end of his current contract in 2027, the Warriors know that their time with this legendary core is limited. This reality has driven their aggressive approach in the trade market and free agency, even if they've had to be more selective than in years past. The additions of Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, and Kyle Anderson this offseason were significant, but they weren't the blockbuster moves some fans were hoping for. These players certainly improved the Warriors' depth, a critical issue last season, but the question remains, do they have enough firepower to contend with the best teams in the West? One of the biggest question marks heading into the new season is whether the Warriors have a true second scorer alongside Curry. The team's pursuit of Markkanen was driven by this need, as his scoring and rebounding would have provided a much-needed boost. However, with that option off the table, the Warriors will need to rely on internal growth and the hope that their current roster can step up when it matters most. Lauri Markkanen's availability on the trade market was a game-changer this offseason. When the Jazz signaled they were open to listening to offers, teams across the league took notice. Markkanen, who was entering the final year of his contract, was an attractive target for any team looking to add a versatile big man with shooting range and rebounding prowess. The Warriors were among the first to engage in talks, but ultimately, the price was too high. The Jazz, led by Danny Ainge, are always active in trade discussions, gauging the market for their players. While they were willing to entertain offers for Markkanen, they were never fully committed to moving him unless the return was overwhelming. This cautious approach by Utah made it difficult for any team, including the Warriors, to pull off a trade for the All-Star forward. Despite their strong interest, the Warriors were unwilling to part with some of their most promising young players in a deal for Markkanen. The inclusion of Podziemski or Kuminga was a non-starter for Golden State, reflecting the front office's long-term vision. They believe that these young players could be key contributors in the years to come, especially as the team transitions away from the Curry Green era. The situation with Markkanen highlights a broader trend in the Warriors' approach this offseason. They are looking to strike a balance between competing now and building for the future. This dual focus has influenced every decision, from the players they've targeted in trades to the ones they've retained. The Warriors are not just thinking about the 2024-25 season, they are also planning for what comes next. The trade talks surrounding Markkanen were most active in the early days of free agency. Once it became clear that the Warriors were not willing to meet Utah's demands, the discussions cooled off. By the time Summer League rolled around, most of the serious trade chatter had died down, leaving the Warriors to focus on the roster they had assembled. The calmness of this year's Summer League stood in stark contrast to the previous year when trades involving big names like Damian Lillard and Pascal Siakam were still being discussed. This time around, there was a sense that teams, including the Warriors, were content to stand pat, at least for the time being. The Jazz's decision to extend Markkanen's contract effectively ended any trade discussions. The new deal, which will pay Markkanen $42 million for the 2024-25 season and includes a 4-year, $195.8 million extension, means that he won't be eligible to be traded until after the 2025 NBA trade deadline. This takes one of the Warriors' top targets off the board, at least for now. With Markkanen locked up in Utah, the Warriors must shift their focus to the upcoming season. They still have one of the best players in the world in Stephen Curry, and as long as he's on the court, the Warriors will be contenders. However, the front office will need to continue exploring ways to strengthen the roster, particularly as they look to build around Curry and Green. Stephen Curry's future with the Warriors is another storyline to watch. After 15 incredible years with the team, Curry has accomplished just about everything there is to achieve in the NBA. Yet, he shows no signs of slowing down, and the Warriors are committed to keeping him in a Golden State jersey for the rest of his career. The idea of Curry finishing his career with the Warriors is something both he and the organization have expressed a strong desire for. Like legends Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Dirk Nowitzki, Curry seems destined to play his entire career with one team. However, in today's NBA, where loyalty is often overshadowed by business decisions, nothing is guaranteed. Rumors about Curry's future have been swirling for over a year, and with Klay Thompson now gone, these rumors are likely to intensify. Despite this, the Warriors have made it clear that they have no intention of letting Curry play for another team. They are prepared to do whatever it takes to keep him in the Bay Area for the rest of his career. Curry's current contract runs through the 2025-26 season, but he is eligible for an extension this offseason. Under the NBA's over 38 rule, Curry could sign a 1-year, $62.6 million extension this summer. If he waits until next offseason, he could secure a 2-year, $130 million extension, further solidifying his place with the Warriors. While there doesn't seem to be any rush from either side to agree to a new deal, the Warriors are ready to meet Curry's demands whenever he's ready to talk. We will talk about that too. I mean, look, that guy, whatever he wants, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy said earlier this offseason. I'd say, pretty confident he'll be a Warrior for life. Curry's contract situation is just one of the many factors the Warriors are considering as they prepare for the 2024-25 season. With Curry still playing at an elite level, the Warriors are focused on maximizing their championship window while also planning for the future. This delicate balancing act will define the team's strategy in the coming years. Another key player in the Warriors' future plans is Jonathan Kuminga. The young forward has shown steady improvement since being drafted by the Warriors, and the organization is high on his potential. Despite being mentioned in trade rumors, the Warriors have consistently refused to include Kuminga in deals for all-star level players, signaling their belief in his long-term value. Kuminga is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and his future with the Warriors is a hot topic of discussion. While the team could negotiate a new extension with him at any time, there's no rush to do so. However, Kuminga's camp may push for a deal sooner rather than later, especially given his growth and increased role with the team. The Warriors face a tough decision regarding Kuminga's contract. If they were to offer him a max rookie scale extension, it could significantly impact their financial flexibility in the coming years. With the team already paying a high luxury tax, adding another large contract to the books could limit their ability to make other moves in the future. Kuminga's value to the Warriors is undeniable. This past season, he averaged 16.1 points and 4.8 rebounds per game while shooting a career-high 52.9% from the floor. Although his three-point shooting still needs improvement, the Warriors see Kuminga as a key part of their future and are likely to prioritize his development. The negotiations between Kuminga and the Warriors are expected to be complex, with both sides needing to find a balance between his current value and his potential future earnings. While Kuminga's camp may push for a deal in the range of $140 million to $155 million over 5 years, the Warriors may prefer to wait and see how he performs in the upcoming season before committing to such a large contract. The financial aspect of Kuminga's extension is not the only concern for the Warriors. They also need to consider how his role on the team will evolve, particularly with the presence of Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green. If Kuminga continues to develop as expected, he could eventually take on a more prominent role, which would justify a larger contract. The Warriors have done an excellent job of developing young talent over the years, and Kuminga is no exception. The organization has a track record of bringing out the best in its players, and they are confident that Kuminga will continue to grow and contribute to the team's success in the future. As the Warriors prepare for the new season, they are also keeping an eye on the trade market. While the NBA trade market has been relatively quiet this offseason, the Warriors are always on the lookout for opportunities to improve their roster. With Curry and Green still playing at a high level, the team is likely to be aggressive in exploring trade options. The Warriors' championship window is still open, but it's not as wide as it once was. The team's success in the 2024-25 season will depend on several factors, including the performance of their young players, the health of their veterans, and the moves they make in the trade market. One of the key questions the Warriors need to answer is which players they want to surround Curry and Green with as they continue their pursuit of another championship. While the team has already made some moves this offseason, there may be more changes on the horizon as they look to fine-tune their roster. The potential trade of Andrew Wiggins is a topic that has been discussed among Warriors fans and analysts. While Wiggins has been a valuable contributor to the team, his contract and role on the team may make him a candidate for a trade, especially if the Warriors are looking to clear cap space for other moves. Moses Moody, Kevin Looney, and Gary Payton II are also players who could be included in trade packages if the Warriors decide to make a significant move before the trade deadline. These players have provided valuable depth and versatility, but their salaries could be used to facilitate a trade for a more impactful player. The Warriors' offseason has been somewhat underwhelming for fans who are used to seeing the team make bold moves to stay competitive. The failed attempts to trade for a star player, combined with the team's focus on developing young talent, have left some fans feeling uncertain about the future. Despite the lack of blockbuster trades, the Warriors remain confident in their ability to compete at a high level. The organization believes that the roster they have built is capable of contending in the Western Conference, and they are committed to making the necessary adjustments to stay in the championship mix. Looking ahead, the Warriors will need to be strategic in their approach to the trade market. While they may not make any more moves this offseason, there is always the possibility of a mid-season trade that could have a significant impact on their playoff chances. The Warriors' front office is known for its creativity and willingness to take risks, so fans can expect that the team will continue to explore all options as they seek to build a roster that can compete for a title. Whether it's a trade, a free agent signing, or the development of a young player, the Warriors are always looking for ways to improve. As the 2024-25 season approaches, the Warriors are focused on one goal: bringing another championship to the Bay Area. With Curry and Green leading the way, and a mix of veteran talent and promising young players, the team is poised to make another run at the title. The journey won't be easy, but if there's one thing we know about the Warriors, it's that they never back down from a challenge. Thank you for watching, Warriors fans. If you're as excited as I am about the upcoming season, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Who do you think the Warriors should target next? Stay tuned to Warriors Nation TV for all the latest updates and analysis. Go Dubs!